Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Dear viewers, this is Sohail, and today my topic of discussion, or we will discuss daily renewal. This term daily renewal actually comes to us from the famous book, Stephen Covey's book, The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. So, what is renewal? This daily renewal. Stephen Covey says that we, in order to be energetic, in order to be active, in order to be mentally and physically active, we need renewal, daily renewal in four areas. What are those four areas? Those four areas are spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional or social. So in those four areas, we have to renew ourselves on daily basis in order to be effective, in order to be creative, in order to achieve our goals. So these four areas needs our daily renewal. And Stephen Covey further says that we must allocate some time, 30 minutes or 1 hour time each day for these four areas of our life. So first we will discuss all those four areas, and I will elaborate about it. First of all, the spiritual renewal. What is spiritual renewal? Spiritual renewal is actually when we work on our soul, and this spiritual renewal we can achieve differently. For instance, different people achieve spirituality differently. For instance, some people uh, do prayer, or as personally I achieve my spirituality or spiritual renewal by my daily prayers, 5 times prayer, and also reflecting on Quran. When I read Quran and reflect on its moral principles, and it renewed me. For other people, and even for myself, sometimes spiritual renewal comes through nature. For instance, a person go to the sea and listen to the waves, and listen to the music of the waves, and he renew himself. Some people resort to poetry or to some philosophical book. For instance, I reflect on Ghalib and Iqbal's poetry, and listen to their lessons, and the view of the world view of Iqbal and Ghalib. They renew me spiritually. So all these are with the help of all these actions, we can renew ourselves spiritually. Now, mental renewal. Number 2 point is mental renewal. How can we renew ourselves mentally? Stephen Covey, in his book, that sharpening the saw, the last chapter, which is sharpening the saw, in it he explains that mental renewal, we can do it by having mental exercise. For instance, we exercise our body by physical exercise, by playing tennis or playing cricket or things like that. So we have to exercise our mind. Nowadays, people are fond of TV, watching TV and mobile and WhatsApp and Facebook. These activities do not renew us. For mental renewal, what we would do, we would read. We will concentrate on reading a, 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 a quality book in any area, whether it is a technical area or but it needs concentration. For instance, I read biographies, I read religious books, philosophical books, and on technical aspects, different agriculture and things like that. So uh, agriculture and social books on social issues. So this mental renewal can be done by reading books, and not only by reading books, but also by writing. When we have when we get an idea from a book or from a person, or interaction with a person, and we get an idea, we must write it. We must write it in our diary, so that it become a part of us. And when we write it, then it become clear, and we can execute that idea. If we learn something, then learning is not enough. You have to execute it, to put it into action. All effective people put ideas into action. So this is what mental renewal is. Another way of mental renewal is visualization. When you visualize your goal, and what is visualization? Visualization is while sitting in some silent place, and you visualize about your goal, and you in your mind eye, or in your imagination, you are working on your goal and you are achieving it. So just like in sports, a sportsman visualize about his sport in advance. Then when he came into the ground, then he has already visualized that goal, and he can do it easily because of the visualization. He has already rehearsed the goal in his mind. So this is visualization. And daily or weekly planning is also a part of this renewal or mental renewal. Like we make our daily plans, our weekly plans. What is a plan? Plan is actually our goals, 2 3 goals each day which we want to achieve. That may be a a work goal, or that may be a relationship goal, or that may be or sharpening the saw goal, like mental renewal and exercise and planning and social activities. So this was all about mental renewal. Then physical renewal. Physical renewal. How can we do physical renewal? Physical renewal, as Stephen Covey mentioned, that it can be done in 3 ways, and that is through exercise. 3 ways exercise. One is that cardiovascular, or exercise, or running. Uh, as everybody know that we can exercise our heart through our big muscles, like our hands and our feet. So by running, or by jogging, or by working in a farm, using a shovel or things like that, this is also a cardio exercise. So this can be done by running and jogging. And then stretching means when you are using your hands, like this way, that way, and things like that. So stretching, you can find stretching on YouTube. There are so many of different exercise for stretching, bending, and um, mm, bending and things like that. So stretching, and then strengthening exercise. Strengthening exercise. What is strengthening exercise? Strengthening exercise, actually, when you use your muscles and you use strength. For instance, push-ups, and using dumbbells. When you have dumbbells, 5 kg dumbbells, and you are doing biceps and forceps and things like that. So this is a strengthening exercise. So Stephen Covey says that we must allocate 1 hour to our physical renewal, and this is done by cardio and stretching and strengthening. Okay. Now, coming to the last point, which is emotional or social renewal. Emotional and social renewal, just like all other renewals, it doesn't need much of a time, or it is not part of our planning, because, for instance, this can be done in our everyday life. For instance, we meet our kids and we spend time with our wife or spouse, or we spend time with our siblings or mother, father, friend, or teacher, or anybody. But this interaction, or this relationship interaction, must be a soul to soul synergistic communication. It shall not be for some material gain, like a business meeting, or meeting with your customer, or things like that. It must be unconditional sort of relationship, like you are not expecting anything of that relationship. You are just giving your time for the sake of your spiritual, for your social renewal. So every human, we human being, we are social animals. So we need social communication and social interaction for our health. So all those spiritual, mental, physical, emotional renewals are very important for us, and to be useful, to be effective, to achieve our goals, to be healthy, to be mentally and physically healthy, we need to renew ourselves in those four areas. So, viewers, I hope you have found this video useful, and promise that you will also apply all those four renewals in your life. And this is what I can expect of sharing this video, that this may help someone. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.